So we're back again with Cord from DrumCore. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions about this. Obviously, you're working with Ableton,
Yeah.
as my shirt indicates. I'm repping a little bit here, way too much, more than I should probably.
And I'm just using it because it's cool to do a bunch of beats in.
Well, that's
MIDI
the thing.
and
It's
audio, you know.
the best live program for using loops, or at least in my subjective opinion.
Yeah.
But given that, tell me a little bit about the difference between this and other major competitors. I think we had talked about one earlier, and we were comparing the difference between the sort of lag on the CPU between that one and how this one, the yellow bar on Ableton, was barely up there at all.
Yeah. Well, one thing that we do is we try and, like I mentioned before, we try and bake the sounds of the kit into the sample. I mean,
Right.
certainly you can add as many plugins as you want and do all that good stuff, but we really think with if someone pulls up a rock kit, particularly if it's a drummer that's known for rock, and his whole kit is tooled around that beat that he's playing, because when they select their drums, they're selecting them based on the style usually.
Yeah.
Right? You listen to Lonnie Wilson's country drums with brush. It's a different kit than, you know, Sorum's rockin' thing, or even Tempesta for metal. So we try and bake those sounds into the kits themselves so that you don't have to fuss with that. You know, you can certainly take it to another level, and of course, like, you can mix and match stuff. Like I said, I like doing freaky stuff, like taking the electronic kit, you know, put the electronic kick on it, put like the brushed snare on it, and then, you know, electronic hi-hats and some jazz ride cymbal. I like doing strange stuff like that, but at least with, you know, KitCore and DrumCore, you can do that really easily.
And you can map the different sounds to the same MIDI key. If I want to map to, say, C3, I can map multiple instruments to that one key.
You can't do it within the programs themselves.
Okay.
They're all GM mappings, so pretty much
All
any
right.
controller in the world, you can just go GM mode and it works. And also the drum pattern editors and stuff like Cubase and Logic and all these programs that have a dedicated drum editor, it works well with DrumCore because we do the GM settings, and when you see the name bass drum, it really is a bass drum.
Now, how does that work with, say, the Ableton drum pads, or does it really not?
Well, with Ableton, it's like anything can be assigned any kind of MIDI command thing. I haven't really been using their pad thing as much, but certainly somebody from Ableton was, because we export stuff as Rex files, they use that cool thing where you can just throw in a Rex file. And because we do drag and drop right into Ableton, it was great. He goes, yeah, this is a real cool sounding beat. Have you seen this? You know, this guy, Houston from...
yeah, I know Houston.
So Houston is like a ninja with live. So he's like, oh yeah, you got to check out the new features in 7. And so he goes, yeah, this is a cool beat. So he pulls it over. It does the auto chop of all the Rex slices, and he starts, you know,
well, it throws it into the drum pad.
Glitching it out.
Yeah.
So it worked with that, with the drum pad from the Rex side of life. I haven't really tried it with the MIDI stuff, but you know, again, since live seems so MIDI centric, I have done the things where I've like used different controllers to play slices and stuff that I just drag into slots inside of live.
Okay. And now you said for effects you can send. How do you do a send, say, from like a kick drum or a snare? How would you go about doing that with KitCore or DrumCore?
You just click on the pad.
Okay.
And down below that, there's like use separate outs, a checkbox. If it's selected, you'll see in some of the video and some of the demo we do, how you can just click on the pad, then choose which output that pad has.
Okay.
And we have all stereo samples, so you know, you get a nice stereo image out of everything as well. And so that we usually send the stereo outputs, but you can also use mono outputs into the host as well.